In some respects, a for loop works in a very similar way to that of a while loop, although its structure is different. A for loop is split into three stages: an initializer, a condition, and an incremental step. Once set up, the loop repeats itself until the condition becomes false. The initialize stage of a for loop is executed only once, and this sets the point reference for the loop. The condition is evaluated by the loop to see if it is true or false, and then the increment is executed. The loop then repeats the second and third stage. So, create a new C++ file with the standard headers. Start simple and create a for loop that counts for 1 to 30, displaying the value to the screen with each increment. Working through the process of the for loop, begin by creating an integer called num and assigning it a value of 1. Next, set the condition, in this case, num being less than 30. The last stage is where you create the increments. Here it is the value of num being added by 1. After the loop, you created a compound statement in braces that displays the current value of the integer num. Every time the for loop repeats itself, the second and third stages of the loop, it adds 1 until the condition less than 30 is false. The loop then ends and the code continues, ending neatly with return 0. A for loop is quite a neat package in C++, all contained within its own brackets, while the other elements outside of the loop are displayed. If you want to create a 10-second countdown, you could use this code. With the countdown code, don't forget to include the windows.h library, so you can use the sleep command, build and run the code. In the command console, you can see the numbers 10 to 1 countdown in 1 second increments until it reaches 0 and blast off appears. Naturally, you can include a lot more content into a for loop, including some user input. The code when built and run asks for a number, then displays the factorial of that number through the for loop. The user's number is stored in the integer n, followed by the integer I, which is used to check if the condition is true or false, adding 1 each time and comparing it to the user's number. So, here's an example of a for loop displaying the multiplication tables of a user inputted number. The value of the integer I can be expanded from 12 to whatever number you want, displaying a very large multiplication table in the process. Of course, the data type within a for loop does not have to be an integer. As long as it's valid, it works.